In today's video, we're looking at 3 things that Christians don't want you to know about their faith. Number 1 is that ancient Israelites were not monotheists, they were polytheists. So let's briefly review the definition of polytheism. It means the belief in or worship of more than one God. So as we can see, just believing that more than one God exists qualifies as being polytheistic. And we can see that the ancient Israelites believed multiple gods exist by looking at the foundational text. We notice that in Exodus 15:11, it says, "Who among the gods is like you, Lord? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in glory, working wonders?" We notice here that Yahweh is being compared to other gods, other contemporary gods. Obviously, if you're comparing two things together, you acknowledge that both of them exist. Here in Numbers 21:29, we have another contemporary god, Chemosh, that is actually exerting agency. Obviously, if that god is exerting real-world impact, then it is assumed that he is real and he has the capacity to do that. Even in the 10 Commandments, we see God say, "You shall have no other God before me." This assumes that other gods could be placed above him. If God were really preaching monotheism from the beginning, he would say, "There are no other gods." Lastly, I think this is very good evidence, is in Psalm 82. God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. This passage directly refers to Yahweh interacting and convening with other divine beings. Clearly, this assumes that they are real and that they exist and they have the ability to impact our lives. And so although the ancient Israelites only worshipped one God, they still believed in multiple gods. And the correct term for this is monolatry, not monotheism. Number 2, Yahweh started out as a Canaanite god. So I do want to mention that point 1 and point 2 are affirmed by the book The Evolution of God by Robert Wright, which is a Pulitzer Prize finalist. So this is legit scholarship that we're looking at, not just some stuff that I've invented in my head. So the first hint of this transition from a Canaanite god to the God that we know today is in Exodus. It says that God appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as El Shaddai, but I did not reveal my name, Yahweh, to them. Now, El is actually the name of a different god. In fact, it was one of the primary Canaanite gods of this time. We see in an alternate translation of Psalm 82, El pops up again. God has taken his place in the council of El. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. So now the Hebrew sources are actually at odds in this sense. Roughly half of the sources replace El with Yahweh, and the other half of the sources replace Yahweh with El. So I've saved you the details of this theory. I'd highly recommend checking out the book if you want to learn more about it. But the theory goes that in certain areas of Israel, there was a lot of El and Canaanite god worship going on. And in other areas, it was Yahweh was the primary god that was being worshipped. And so people, in an attempt to kind of spiritually connect the two sides of Israel, decided to make a whole bunch of manuscripts that combine the two gods. And so some of the manuscripts said El, some of the manuscripts said Yahweh, and that was the beginning of the molding together of these two divine beings. So here's number 3, and it is brutal. It's that the Old Testament law still applies today. So I want to read a few quotes in the New Testament because most Christians kind of discount the Old Testament and only focus on the New Testament. So if you're going to prove anything to them, you got to focus on that part. So in Matthew 5:18-19, it says, "Whoever then relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches men so shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven." Then we have in Luke 16:17, "It is easier for heaven and earth to pass away than for the smallest part of the letter of the law to become invalid." Then we have this as an extremely famous quote, "Do not think I have come to abolish the law or prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill." So here we see clearly that that Jesus, which is God, but Jesus is clearly stating that none of the law has been repealed or discounted or taken away. It still applies today, and it's still the ultimate. It still has ultimate authority over people. And so I know for a fact, even if I say this in the video, I will still get these comments of people saying, "No, Jesus fulfilled the law." When somebody can coherently explain to me how Jesus fulfilled the law, but didn't overturn it, but it doesn't apply today, but he says it does apply today, and that it still has ultimate authority. If somebody can coalesce those things into a coherent statement and put that in the comment section, then maybe I'll change my position. But until then, it's plain as day, clear as day, that the Old Testament law still applies today. And so all I can say to that is that I hope you don't like bacon, because damn, that sucks. So that's all I have for this video today. I hope you liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.